water is from our pond, and we may have added some goldfish, and just for fun. It's the idea of the bucket ministry here. And I've got some glasses here to kind of test it out and let you know what's going on. And so we will let her flow. Do a little bit of comparison. The idea is that this water that's coming out of here would be fully filtered and drinkable. And so that's really what bucket ministry is all about, is providing clean, clear water for people in an effort to also present the living water, Jesus Christ. And so that's part of our ministry. So it didn't take very long, and you can kind of see that this is filtered. Cut this off here. Maybe hard to tell from here, but this is the clear water. You can see right through it. There's no fish in it. We did see some tadpoles in the water yesterday, as far as what we had in the bucket ministry, but I don't know, kind of hard to tell that far away, but this is really clear. Drinking water. Tastes good. Yeah, good stuff. We thought this might be a creative way to just wanted to share with you some of the invitations that Ann and I have received over the last few months, and invite you to pray with us. We are really looking for God to confirm that it's His invitation and not just ours. The first one, and a priority to us, is an invitation to return to Uganda. Sisters of Hope International is the ministry that we've been working with for a number of years, and it was one of the first times we went over to Uganda, and we met up with them as kind of a pairing, and Anna's been back since, and we've had them over here. And more recently, we were part of a organizing the opportunity to buy 100 of these filters to bring back over there as a tangible way to meet the needs of those that are in the villages. And so we super exceeded our need. I think they were like $50 a piece, and we're able to buy over 100 of them. And since then, they extended an invitation to us to actually give these out, to be distributors of that. So if we raise $3,000, and Anna's able to go back and help with that. If we were to raise $6,000, and if God was to provide, then I would be able to go over as well. Bonus, if I go over, then I would be one of the keynote speakers as we deliver these, distribute them, hand out the Bible, and then get to present the gospel, which I'm super stoked about that opportunity. So that is the main thing. By November 15th is one of their deadlines that they're hoping to have a deposit in, $500 a piece, so it'd be $1,000 for Anna and I. And with great humility, open invitation, God can miraculously provide as He has before, but also just feel like we wanted to share the vision of what's going on. And so if others want to, God continues to give favor with this, and so if there's more people that want to invest in that and want to send Anna and I over to help distribute these, bonus. Now, we don't have to go over and distribute these. They will get distributed regardless of whether we're there or not. The bonus is that we would have our hands on it in the field, and that we would be able to come back and share some of those stories. So that's priority one. Not only the bucket ministry and distributing that, but also to encourage Sisters of Hope International, SOHI, as you've got to know them. And so we've blogged and shared that story many times. You're welcome to check out our blog to detail that out. Again, the bigger prayer is that God would just confirm that this is what Anna and or I, or both of us, are to be a part of. And the trip is actually at the beginning of February, just to key you in on that. A second invitation is an invitation that I received from my older brother Chris, who is preparing to go to Israel and to do a tour. Now, this has been a pipe dream of mine for probably the last 20 years, and it seems like God has continued to close the door on that. But the invitation has come again, and I'm just sending that your way as well, just to make you aware and to be praying for Ann and I and our family as we process that one as well. And whether God is going to miraculously provide for that, or if there's some people out there that want to help support me going back, bonus. The double bonus is that my brother is co-leading the trip, Chris Campbell. He's part of or founder of Generation Freedom, part of Freedom in Christ Ministry, a student ministry branch of that. Anyways, he's co-leading that trip. Also, if I'm able to go, then I have the opportunity to extend the invitation to you, those people that I know, to be able to go also with us over there as part of the tour. It is in it's in June, I believe. The dates are posted on our podcast, and so or on our blog site, and so you can check out those dates. The due date for that one is December 31st, and so just wanted to get those dates before you so that you can be praying for us. Again, we're not necessarily asking that you fully support us, but rather God would confirm, and then if you wish to, and that's something on your heart to invest in the journey that Ann and I's in, bonus, we invite you to take part of that as well. The third invitation is really kind of bizarre. Not bizarre in itself, but just how God has moved around this for 3 years. So invitation 1, just as a reminder, is Uganda. That's our priority. Invitation 2 is Israel. That's in July. June or July. I have to look at the dates again. The third invitation is Alaska. And I've shared this with a few people, and it's kind of odd because we have been preparing for this trip for the last 3 years, and maybe even farther back than that. But in particular, with our student ministry, we have done fundraisers, and we spent the last 2 years doing a local reconnaissance of the native reservations that are in northern Minnesota. So to speak of, that would be White Earth and Red Lake and Cass Lake or Leech Lake. And so we were able to spend a week plus doing some reservation missions in the summer a couple years ago. And then last summer, as many of you know, we went up into Canada. And so that's that next ripple. And we're able to do some missions with the indigenous First Nation people up in Canada. In particular, the Peguis people north of Winnipeg. And so, again, in thinking that God was leading us into a third ripple of Alaska, we've been preparing and doing our fundraisers the last few years to lean into Alaska. However, as it is, it seems like via lack of communication and trying to parallel some ministries that is our heartbeat, it's just ongoing delay and not able, even though, and I don't know if I shared this yet, but newsflash, we actually have enough funds to do it. And so then it's the prayer of, okay, God, the funds are here, but do we force it? Do we go ahead and make this happen even though we don't have things lined up? And so wisdom kind of tells us to pause and pray through and continue, okay, God, what is your ultimate plan here? And what do we do with these funds? In my situation, I've got enough funds to go to Alaska. However, am I supposed to use that as seed money for Israel or for Uganda as our priority? So all of these things we kind of lay with you guys, trusting that you would be willing maybe to pray with us in the next couple weeks. So November 15th is kind of the first due date where we need to get a deposit in for Uganda. The end of the year, December 31st, is when we need to get Israel laid out, whether we're affirming that invitation or not. And then also Alaska, and that really has to take place in the next couple months too, because we need to line up, because it's a student trip, we got to line up air flights and bush flights, and the heart of that one is to really reach into an unreached or an unsaturated group in Alaska, Inuit, people that haven't heard the gospel or very little of the gospel. So I know I feel like I'm rambling here. You've seen kind of the perspective again. We love what this is about, and so part of this video is a thank you for providing both prayer and support to buy the buckets and the medicine and the filters themselves. because that costs a lot, and God, through you guys, were able to support that ministry. Over 100 of these things, or 100 that we've been able to provide. So a huge shout out and a thank you both to you and to God, who has moved people to give favor on this ministry. And again, I'm rambling here, but I just wanted to give kind of the tone in which our heart is beating for these 3 invitations, and how are we to navigate in the next couple of weeks. This just needs some more clarity from God himself. And some of that is through your wisdom and through your provision and prayer for us. We love you. Thank you for investing in the Campbells. If I haven't mentioned it yet, campbellcarrier.blogspot.com. That's our blog site. And if you want to keep up with the journey that we've been going through, we've got the blog site. That's really the last 4 or 5 years. And then also we have a newsletter and a little magnet, if you're interested in a magnet to be praying over us. Man, in so many ways I feel like I'm excited, but also even just to share this, there's a little bit of, oh my goodness, has God really given us this invitation, or is this just man's invitation? And there's a humility involved, like even to let other people know that we have a want or a need or a prayer request is not easy. I dislike very much, sometimes even sharing our need, but I think it's the heart of God that we would be interdependent upon his people and the vision and the heart of other people that would like to invest in this too. So again, thank you for, if nothing else, just praying for us in the next couple of weeks that God would give us clarity. Blessings. Cheers. Considering my hunting grounds here, so I'm taking the bucket ministry down to the pond that's on my property to kind of see what that water looks like, as opposed to just river water, and test it out down here and see what that looks like. This is some of my hunting ground. See this? So I'm at our local bridge here, and I've got the bucket, and we're gonna go down to the river and see what it's like in our river. See how dirty, clean, what have you. And quite a trail down. I'm imagining people that go down to a river to collect their water, and they take sometimes quite a hike to get to a water source. Sometimes miles and miles. It takes a good part of their day, just for the sake of survival. Oh, bring it up here, set it up, see what it looks like, eh? Drop in some Canadian. Whoa, this is pretty clear. So this is it's the Bucket Ministry, and this is Minnesota's version of clear, pristine water. We have pretty clear water. The idea of the Bucket Ministry is just think about second, third world countries, and even places. How much of their life is spent just have clean water, hunting and gathering, and how convenient it is for us to find tap water, not have to worry about clean water and what that looks like. And so I just want to go down my pond here this morning and again, Minnesota, and it filters all of that water, northern U.S. And so the way that the Sawyer system works, it's scientists have come up with this amazing way to not anticipate ice on the water. Way too early for that. However, we're going to bust through, and I'm anticipating the water to be. But this is how somewhat clean our water is compared to other places in the world that don't have clean water available to them. Yeah, thought I'd just check it out locally, see what we got. Use my other hand here. How to do this without getting wet. This log looks like it's. I'll pause and come back. Found it.